Well, Chris, an incredible night. Can you take us through your perspective and how it unfolded and how you dealt with the break and what you spoke to your players about during that time?
Oh, no, look, I mean, the night always had the potential to be Buddy's night and Australian football in Sydney as well. And we've got nothing but good things to say about the great man. Their team played really well tonight. It was a bit of a strange game from our perspective in that we thought the conditions were good early, but it almost looked like a wet weather game for us. The problem was it didn't look like a wet weather game for them, the way they handled the ball. So we were beating around the ball, but it's not often you play poorly, get beaten by 30-odd points and have more scoring shots and more inside 50s. So it was a bit strange. Generally, those sort of numbers speak to the quality, obviously. And they took their chances. It's not the first time we've come here and kicked a lot more points than goals. And they were the other way around. Was the final number 17-4 or 5? Or they kicked exceptionally well. So again, there was always a potential that this would be a celebration in Sydney, and I'm a huge advocate for footy north of the Murray. And I think if the takeaway from this night is that we're really disappointed and had to suck it up a little bit while Sydney celebrated, we can live with that.
You spoke during the week saying that you're almost encouraging fans, you'd be happy to see them run on the ground. Is it part of you cherish this moment that you were here to see and have the Geelong here for that moment? I'm conflicted, obviously. But it was history-making, wasn't it? I don't want to give the impression that we came to the game thinking, aren't we lucky to be here for Buddy to kick his 1,000th, but... No, I think we'll look back and say it was a moment in history that's well worth celebrating.
Chris, can you take us inside Jeremy Cameron's week? So much interest in what happened last Saturday. He gets up for the game tonight and performed pretty manfully when you think about what he went through during the week. How close was he to missing and how did he get up?
Well, in the end, he wasn't really close to missing. Early in the week it was a bit hard to tell, but I think it was one of those where the theatre and the look of it on TV to getting taken away in an ambulance to go and get scans, it speaks to more the cautious approach that our medical staff and all medical staffs at AFL clubs take. But he was cleared really quickly, and it was a heavy collision. He was subbed out of the game. As much as anything, it was a cork to his quad, as well as the hip pointer that was holding him up. So it wasn't quite as serious as we understand that some might have thought it when they saw the ambulance and all that sort of stuff. But he actually came to hand pretty well, even on a 6-day break. So we just don't play guys if they're in any danger of missing footy down the track, much less not performing well in the moment. So we went in with a fit team and just didn't deliver, unfortunately.
How disappointed are you? Last week you were the Cats were the talk of the round almost, given how well you played against Essendon, and tonight it's a celebration for the game, but as the coach you must be pretty flat. Yeah, but I wasn't carried away last week and I won't get too flat this week. I think that's what we're aiming to be. We want to be a consistent team, and as I said, we didn't play well, but you can sort of point to some things and say, like our midfield got soundly beaten. But we did get the ball forward more than the opposition. It was more the quality of what we were doing, and they pressured really well. We didn't look. Our game in the contest was superb last week and poor tonight, and that's a big swing against a quality team like Sydney. So at round 2, I think and we're going to stay really strong in our convictions that we've worked hard on some things through the pre-season. We know it won't be perfect early. We didn't think that last week was proof that we've got everything right. And we knew we were, occasionally. I think every team in the AFL, you're going to have nights where you sort of have reason to kind of question some of the things you're doing. But if we're a little cleaner with the ball, it would have changed a lot. Simple stuff that I think's easily turned around. Any concerns with Sean Higgins? You mentioned that he's rested after round 1. Is there any issues with his body or anything at this point of the year?
No, we're going to rest guys who are in rude health this year. And I've said it a number of times now. I understand you don't hear everything I say, but we think we've got a deep squad and we're going to use it. So, And again, I don't reference other team very often, but I think we sort of get with the program a little bit. I don't know the situation with Jacob Hopper, but I see he's managed in round 2. He's 22, so that is more the new normal, at least as far as we see it. I can't really speak for other clubs, but yeah, I don't think it should be a huge surprise that. And again, we've done it in previous years, and I think we'll do it even more this year. You'll see Joel Selwood come out when he's fighting fit. We don't want to wait. For 2 reasons. You don't want to wait for one guy to sort of be so sore that he needs the rest, but you also don't want to bank them up. So 4 guys need a rest in the same week. So that's the rationale. I can understand on face value it seems a bit strange, but once you actually work through it, you don't want to get 4 or 5 rounds in and go, now we've got to take 5 out.
Probably a career best night for Brad Close tonight after he hit the 2 goals last week. How have you seen his development over the summer?
We completely agree. It was in a tough night for us. It was a really complete game for a sort of small running forward. He was really good last week. We thought he was in the best 5 players on the ground, and have to have a bit more of a think about the opposition. We're obviously really good, but he was clearly our best player tonight. We thought, I sometimes find it hard straight after the game to do that analysis, but he's developing really well. Yeah, he's another player that we've brought in. He's a rookie. He's developed really well in our system.
Chris, you had Buddy pretty well contained for sort of the first half when he got that first goal, that second goal for the night, and then in the third quarter. Was it just that creeping sense of inevitability that was on tonight, the 1,000?
We were more worried about the overall scores. Yeah, well, I thought Jack Henry's an interesting matchup for Buddy. I thought Jack played well. I thought Buddy took his chances. But no, that's something you can speak to more than us, because we're kind of focused on different things.
Chris, Joel Selwood's milestone was obviously overshadowed tonight, equalling Stephen Kernahan's captaincy games record. Is that the sort of milestone that you draw attention to, though, just to at least honour long-serving leader of your club?
Yeah, it's getting a little repetitive. He just keeps breaking records for different things. So he's just been an inspiring leader, and I think I was really pleased to hear Stephen Kernahan say that he's pleased for Joel. That's high praise indeed from such a great captain. And it should be recognised. But if I know Joel, he'll say, I don't want the focus to be on me. I just want to lead the team the way I've tried to lead it over the past decade or so.
Mark Witzarp's got one to his shoulder. Will that be one to look at during the week?
No, he'll be fine, they tell me.
And Mitch Duncan, just how did you see his performance first game back after a pretty long layoff?
Yeah, it's good to see him back. Like he actually had a pretty good pre-season in the early part, and then just was held up to the point where we could have pushed him to play last week, I think, but we held him back a little bit, and he got through well. Like even the last 5 minutes there after that half-hour break, we kept Cameron and Duncan and Parfitt off, so at least we got through that bit unscathed. That would have been insult to injury, so Mitch will be better for the run and expect him to play well again next week.
Who can you get back next week? Is Mark O'Connor and Sam Menegola, are they close, or are they?
Yeah, so it's a bit hard to say exactly. Our VFL team plays tomorrow, but we've got a group of players, including O'Connor, Menegola, Myers, Segler, who are all really close. Lordy, I'm probably missing 1 or 2. Higgins will play next week, so yeah, we don't have any long-termers right at the moment. That's the upside. You want to finish on a high? Upside. All right.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not storming out. One more. No. See you later.